last week. Keeping guard closed. We did punch block last week, right, where he threw the punch. I should say too, like, throws a punch not like somebody who actually knows how to throw a punch. Somebody who like throws a punch like they're an idiot at the bar kind of guy. So he throws that punch, I want to frame inside, connecting my inside arm here, and then I want to like lean to this side so that he's either going to put weight on this arm, or maybe he just falls, but I need to be able to control the posture. And we're bringing our leg inside from here, going here, shooting here, and starting to look to triangles, right? So you were here too last class, right? You guys both were? So we did talk about when we get to the triangle and then defending. So the first thing Brody could do is, like, if his shoulder's hidden, he's gonna get choked. Maybe not Brody, because it's hard to choke, but he can push his shoulder in and then hide the arm behind him here. And this keeps his neck fairly safe, right? You can still finish the triangle here, but it's too hard. Typically we lock our triangle on the same side that the arm is trapped, right? But in this case, we're going to control the head, and we're going to switch and lock it on the opposite side. It's called a bolt lock. It's just like, it's like not a choke, but it changes the angle. You okay in there, Brody?
Yeah.
Totally fine, right?
Totally.
You can, if you have good quads and you've been hitting the leg curl machine, you can squeeze here and get the choke. Okay, but it's not like high percentage and like, well, you could probably get it. I mean, your legs are pretty girthy, but if you're fighting somebody your size, you might not be able to lock up at all. Just too much meat involved, right? So from here, what I can do is I can dive my hand underneath Brody's arm here, and I'm going to use it to pull, start extending away. From here, he's got some pressure, so as I lift my elbow, I'm pulling my hand down, and then I'm lifting my elbow, and starting to get like a Kimura type break here. He doesn't need to tap here, he can defend just by straightening his arm. But that puts him into the straight armbar or a violin armbar. From here now, I just pull and I lift my hips, creating a little valley here to break his arm. So again, we're going to throw to a triangle. We'll do it off the same series. He throws a punch, ooh, my knee comes inside, I go to the wrist, I can go foot to the inside, locking here, he hides the arm, okay? Control the head, bolt lock, come underneath, twist. I can get the break, or he straightens his arm, here. And I just pull straight down above the elbow line. So we don't need to like squeeze the triangle hard, so it's not like hard on your ankle or your knees or anything, it's mostly like your wrist, arm doing the job. He throws the punch, ooh, connecting to wrist here. I want to stay connected to him with both hands the whole time. Shoot the triangle, oh, he defends. Control the head, lock on the wrong side, dig underneath, lift, he straightens the arm. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Half guard or knee shield, basically like my bottom leg is hooking Brody's leg, and then I can put my foot like pointing down to the floor, which kind of gives me a little extra hook. Not super important, I get foot cramps, so I tend to not do it. I like to connect my feet together, but that's just because I have kind of long legs. If you don't, you can do this too, totally fine. But I have to be strong enough here with the shield that he doesn't just fold forward and like collapse my leg. I get killed from here. So I keep my legs up, that's why I like the connection. That doesn't take much, but now when Brody tries to lean into me, I have a really solid structure here. The two things that I'm wary of, number one would be him getting this elbow inside my leg and hand to the hip. If he gets here, he's going to pass my guard, so I keep this super tight. The other thing I'm wary of, especially in the gi, is if he can reach across and make grips on my collar. This is bad for me. Without the gi on, I'm worried about him like cross-facing me and smashing me, which is going to be hard to do through the knee, right? But I keep two hands on him. If he's got a gi on, I'll grab the gi right here. This is a nice strong grip. And then this hand, as he comes in, I'm looking to make like some sort of a wrist control or any sort of grip I can. It's nice that he has a gi on, it makes it so much better. But I could just settle for like, just hold the wrist, right? As he pressures into me here, because people tend to not just sit back, because if they're not pressuring, I can just move out and get up. So as he's pressuring into me, keeping weight, I'm gonna wait until I feel enough forward pressure. Then I'm gonna kick this leg through and let him fall as I sit up to meet him here. So I put my armpit to the shoulder and I snake arm through, gripping my own wrist and his wrist. From here, it's an easy thing for me to fall back to my back and hit the Kimura. I keep my legs pinched so that he can't roll. Try to roll there, Brody. Can't go anywhere. This is perfect. And I can finish the break here. So from here, have my grips. I sit up, connecting, snake arm. I'm keeping this elbow tight. If I don't, it's kind of weird. He can straighten his arm, defend it. That's really bad for me. So I keep my elbow pinched tight and this hand keeping his arm bent. His arm can never go straight. If it goes straight, I lose everything here. So I keep it bent, turn flat to my back, and I push this hand towards his far ear. Just like so. But I'm not doing this with my elbow flaring. My elbow comes down, and I push to the far side. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so this Kimura really easy to defend. Fortunately, as he goes to sit up for the Kimura, there's two things I can do. Number one would be just post on the hip, posture, and just rip my arm for the As Brody goes for the Kimura, he gets a good strong grip. If I let him go to his back, I'm gonna get finished. My hand's behind my back, I have zero strength anymore. So instead, as he sits up, I need to double down on my posture and just get straight up. Go ahead and lock your Kimura up. Here, I use the hand on the hip to sort of create a frame that keeps my back straight. Now when Brody tries to fall to his back, it feels completely different. So the other thing I can do from here is I can actually fall over his elbow line and re-Kimura him straight back. So as he gets his Kimura, he's all proud of himself, hand to the hip, posture up, and then I fall over top of his elbow and I re-grip my own Kimura. You can grip your Kimura tighter if you want. Right, it doesn't matter, he's gonna go here. Once I have this grip, it's an easy thing to finish it. I want you guys just to learn the defense first. Boom, posture. You can just extract your arm, or if you want to win, posture. Once his elbow slips through the hole, put my chest over top of that elbow, and now I grip my own Kimura. You have to lay on your partner's face. There's no way. You okay there, Brody? He loves this. There's no way around it. Make my double grip, push him over, and get to here. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Again, we have the two options. He sits Kimura. I can just extract my arm, or I can counter him. If I fall too far forward, that's cool too. I straighten my arms and get to this position we call T Kimura. I have the grip, but I don't need to hold on to him. If Brody was 260 pounds, and I'm holding him here and he explodes to sit up hard, he could break my wrists here. So I would just go here and keep this forearm in straight through the hole, and I grip here. Now when Brody tries to sit up, doesn't matter how big he is, I'm pretty safe. My wrists are never bending, they're straight the whole time. And I want you guys to test this and make sure that you can't just sit up. So really try to sit up here, Brody. Try harder.
There's no harder.
There's no harder. It's perfect. So this is our first step for getting to T Kimura, is controlling our partner or opponent from here. The first attack we're going to do from here is really lame, but it's real. I just sink this leg over the top, boom, and I cross my legs and I extend my legs here and just pencil choke him, crushing the trachea. Horrible. It's like a big brother choke though. It's not a good jiu-jitsu technique. I've tapped to it, it's embarrassing. But whatever. So I get here, I just hip escape my hips away and get my leg under the back of his neck. I bring the top leg over and I just cross the legs here. Top leg goes behind the bottom leg and I straighten my legs, crushing the inside of my knee straight down into his neck. It's not pleasant. But what we look for here, and we're not going to squeeze each other's neck because this is just miserable, but he brings his hand up almost always to try to fight this grip. Yeah, just like that. And he can make some space. When he does that, I'm going to take my top leg, I'm going to hook it into the armpit. I'm going to grab his arm and pull him inside here, getting to this position. So it's more like a triangle now once we get there. This is probably my favorite choke from this whole system. Getting here, posting up. I can fall too far over. So I get clear of his face, right? And this could happen because he pushes me, it could happen because he moves, or because I choose to roll. I gotta straighten my arms. If my arms are bent here and Brody sits up, he's able to sit up. If I straighten my arms, he tries to sit up, he's not. This is an important distinction, right? So from here now, I can hip escape away, come over the top pencil choke, he can defend the pencil choke, I can catch the bite here, pulling in, and now I lock my triangle, but I can also break the arm here, or break the wrist here, or I could do both. But I could also just squeeze the triangle choke, which I won't because I'm not wearing spats. Brody hates having the thighs on his face. So anyway, hold on. Grip. Oh no.
Fight the leg.
Oh, geese are so nice. You can also just choke like right here, just apply a triangle choke. But pushing this hand, as long as I lock, are you okay? You got enough blood?
Yeah.
As long as I'm tight here, when I push on this top wrist very gently, there's a break that happens in this direction. But you do have to be careful with it.
So you'd let go of the other arm though.
I still have it hooked, but I let go with my right hand. I still have it hooked with my left one. Because I can go back to it if I need to. Good? Let's go. All right, so the next thing that could happen as he pressures into me here, boo, make my grip, I sit up, I catch my Kimura. He could also just hide this hand into his hip, which is really normal. Now when I try to fall to my back and get the finish here, I just can't do it because he's got this solid frame here. It's important that you guys look the correct way. If Brody keeps looking at my head, keep looking at my head, I won't break your neck. And I get to here and I try to force him now over the top, see how his neck is about to break. Anytime you're gonna do, can you just release the pressure a little bit? Your hips are so heavy, boy. Anytime you're gonna do like a roll from the top side, you want your head looking towards the feet and you wanna roll over the shoulder that's on the head side. So now when I roll him, right, his neck is safe the entire time. So there's been like some horrible videos of dudes looking the wrong way, white belts always, and they look at the head and then they doorstop on their neck and then the bottom player like forces them and they're like, oh, this guy's strong and heavy, and they just force their neck and they could really like break someone's neck and come back. So there's like a rule, do you know the samurai roll, the ninja roll from quarter guard?
Probably not.
Cut your knee through here. Do you know how to take my back from here?
No, not really.
I know he knows it. So the other option, oh, that would be saddle. Let's go here. Right here, I can look towards the feet.
Oh.
And I can take it. What? What sort of? But what people tend to do from this is they'll like get confused and they'll like try to roll like this way. They'll do something real wacky and you can just imagine it's not gonna work. So anytime I roll from the top, I look towards the feet. Right. This is way easier. But anyway, that same principle comes to the top. Whether you're being the person who's doing the movement or you're having it done to you, look towards the feet if you're on top. It's gonna keep your neck safe and you might give up the sweep, but you're not going to get paralyzed in the process. So here, Kimura, this time instead of defending the way we did earlier, he defends by hiding it into the hip. As I fall to my back now, I can get here, and then I lift with my arms, and I push him off. I can use it to get up on top. From here, I'm going to straighten my arms and go here. So my left elbow is in the mat. I have the top wrist and the wrist control here. Now I just boom, straight down and hit the straight arm bar. Can we rewind that for me? Ninja shit again. So boom, he hides it in the hip to defend. I fall to my back, I push, keeping the hook right up on top. From here now I push my hands away from the body and I turn up to the top. Get the break right here with his thumb pointing up. This is important. Can you turn your thumb? Why not? This is pressure. If I'm like weak here, turn your thumb. Yeah, big difference, right? So it's got to be kind of tight through the whole process right here. Boom. Right, you should tap in the middle of the movement. You want to rewind it again? Nice. So one more time. Got enough geese. Sit up, catch. Boom. He hides it in the hip. Turn. Wow. Make sense? All right, let's go. 1, 2.